What's going on, everybody? Anushka Sheffy here, and in this video I have something special for you. What we're going to be talking about is how to get ungated on Amazon so that you can sell various restricted categories, brands, and products and make the most money with your Amazon dropshipping, FBA, whatever business you're getting into or you're doing to make the most money in all these categories on Amazon, okay? So if you stick around to the end, I'm going to teach you how to get automatically ungated on Amazon in specific categories so you can start selling as soon as today without any approval process, okay? So stick around to the end. We're going to jump right in right now, and as you can see, Amazon gated categories list, I typed that into Amazon, and the very first link is the one we're going to go to. It's going to be a breakdown of all the categories on Amazon along with their approval requirements, okay? And as you can see, here's the category, product category, Amazon device accessories, and approval required on the other side of the page here. No, it is not required to get approval in the Amazon device accessories, but if you scroll the page, you're going to see Automotive and Powersports do require approval, and not only do they require approval, they have professional sellers are required. So if you have just a basic account, you're not going to be able to jump in here and get approval, okay? It's like a twofold kind of thing, and then there are many categories that require even more, okay? What we can see here is that there are tons and tons of categories, each with a different restriction, okay? Some of these categories, like health and personal care back in the day, was a restricted category. Nowadays, you can go ahead and sell all you want without any restrictions or without any approval, okay? Of course, there are still brands within the category that are restricted. So for example, if you go over to Yeti, this is a product that I found on a call with one of my students the other day, and it was gonna be a super profitable item, about $15, maybe $20 profit. So we grabbed the ASIN number, we went over into her account, and we went into my account as well. And what we realized is that when you go in inventory, add a product, you click search, that this product, this Yeti brand, is one of those brands that require approval. So not only is there a restricted category, but there's restricted brands. And if we click, we can see listing limitations apply. And what Amazon's asking us to do is request approval, okay? And it's very simple. You can go here and click, and as mentioned, each situation is going to be different. For the Yeti brand, they are actually asking for one invoice. In my case, they're asking for one invoice or one written document from the manufacturer. As you can see, one letter from Yeti authorizing you to sell their products, or at least one purchase invoice for your products. And you might be wondering, hey, how can I get invoices from a manufacturer or distributor? We're going to get to that at the end. I got 3 methods for you to get approved in different categories, and that's one of them. So we'll talk about that in a second. But as you can see, Yeti, if you want to get approved, you need an invoice from the manufacturer or from, a manufacturer or distributor, or you can get a letter directly from Yeti. So that's how you would get approval for the Yeti brand. Now let's go back to these categories. Let's go ahead and say we want to get approval in, I don't know, let's just go, I'm going to go back here and we'll select this. Restricted products. This is just another page that will break down, oh, that's the restricted products, categories that require approval. So here we go. Here is the page I was looking for. We're looking for information about the specific categories that require approval. So we can come down here, categories and products requiring approval. And as you can see, the very first one is Automotive and Powersports. And we can click on that to get approval. It will give us a full breakdown of what the heck is required in order to get access as a seller in the Automotive and Powersports category, okay? So as you can see, you must be a professional seller, you must blah, 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 have compliant images, etc., etc. You can read through all of this if you're very curious about getting access to this category, or you can just scroll down here and request approval, okay? So in the automotive category, this is one of the automated approvals, okay? So you can get automatically approved in various categories, including like automotive parts and accessories. You can get automatically approved in like clothing and shoes, but you need to do it properly, okay? So you come here, they're asking you for a little bit of information. This is their kind of standard information that they're going to ask you for. You can select the category you want to get approved in. You're going to tell them how much you want to sell or you think you're going to sell. Obviously, we're going to be realistic and we're not going to tell them over $50 million. I mean, hey, if you think you're going to sell over $50 million, go ahead and do that, but that's just one category. So to sell over $50 million, you're going to be crushing it. Congratulations to you, good sir. And the next step here is how many number of products do you want to sell? So as you can see, this is a very, very simple questionnaire to get automated approval in a category. Now, some people are going to get stuck and say, well, I don't have a website. Right. Okay, no problem. Why don't you head over to oneandone.com And for literally $1, you can create a website. Here you go, .com. You create a website, you can whip it up with WordPress in about 15-20 minutes, and within like an hour maximum, you have a simple, doesn't have to be like a beautiful website or anything, just a simple little website that has your domain name that you can put right here in this spot, wherever the heck it was. Here, you can put your website here with the little basic description of what you're doing. You click submit, and you should get automatic approval in that category, okay? So this is one technique to get approved in categories. Just because you go to list an item, like for example, going back to the Yeti item, we went to list it, it said listing limitations required. You can go ahead and still click request approval, and in many cases, they're going to ask you very minimal questions to get approval, or they won't ask you any questions at all. You may get even an automated instant approval. Okay, so it's like the robot goes and verifies, hey, your account is in good standing, you're a professional seller, and it establishes that yes, you are eligible, and they give you automatic approval. So step number one, if you want to get approval in a category or for a brand, go ahead and click the little golden button when you go to list and see if you can get automatic approval. Okay, so that's tip number one for you guys. And as I said, some of these guys, they're not going to be so simple, like just basic questions. Some of them are going to ask you for invoices. And, you know, a lot of you are going to say, well, I don't have any invoices. Can I use the receipts from, let's say I'm purchasing from Walmart or Target or Home Depot? Can I just use the receipts? You cannot use the receipts to prove that you have purchased authentic products and that you want to sell them in a restricted category. Okay, that will not do the trick. You need to actually get a paid invoice from a manufacturer or from a distributor. Okay, so some of you are going to be like, well, how the hell can I do that? It's not as difficult as you would think, okay? So let's go ahead. I pulled up a little tab here, and I got 3 ways to get ungated on Amazon. So you understand how this whole ungating process works. You understand that there's different categories. Some have different restrictions and approval processes, and even some brands inside of these categories can be restricted as well. So how can we get ungated in these specific categories or brands? The first method, automated method, just give it a try. Just give it a whirl. You might as well click the golden button, see if you get approved. And if you do, awesome. If not, maybe they're going to ask you for very basic information. You can whip up a $1 domain and get ungated in the category. I mean, I think it's well worth the $1 investment into your business to get ungated into thousands upon thousands of categories, because if you imagine, not everyone and their grandma is doing this. You're going to have a hand up on the competition. You're going to be able to sell products that everyone else cannot, or a lot of people cannot, so you can make bigger profits, bigger profit margins, right? You can make more sales. There's going to be less competition. There's a lot of benefits to getting ungated, and this is one method to do that, okay? So next step here, or next potential option for you guys, is an ungating service. And you can just simply quickly go over to Google and type in Amazon ungating service. There are services out there that will get you ungated in your category. Here you go, approval within 24 hours. Now, I like to disclaim this, guys. You know how I am. I want to be very open, honest, and transparent about every single thing that I do, especially if I'm trying to help you and push you further in your business, and I'm going to give you a tip that could come back and backfire. That's the last thing I want, guys. So let me be very clear about this. I cannot verify 100% that every ungating service is doing legitimate to the terms of service, to Amazon's terms of service kind of work, okay? Some of these guys may be creating fake invoices. They do not have a direct connection to the manufacturer or distributor. They are literally just creating a simple document that you can go and whip up yourself if you really wanted to, and submitting it to Amazon for you, right? So this is against the terms of service. You need to have a legitimate connection with a manufacturer or distributor in order to get those proper invoices. So perhaps some of these ungating services do have that, but then I also believe, on the other hand, that there are some untrustworthy or services that aren't offering that to the terms of service work. Okay, so be very careful with these ungating services. Make sure you do your due diligence. Check in the Facebook groups. See, hey, did anybody else use this service? How did it work out for you? Check out Google. Check out the Better Business Bureau. There's so many ways that you can check a company. Even check with your friends or other people in the game. Have you tested this? Have you tested this? There's so many ways to verify a service before you jump in and give them, $400 just to start selling topicals in Amazon. Okay, so. But that is one method. If totally up to you if you want to use this method, and if you do, please do your research. Now, next and final option for you guys, a little trick up my sleeve here is, look guys, we're doing over in 200,000, nearly 200,000 in December. We're doing over $100,000 in sales a month on Amazon. What the hell does that mean? Why does that even matter? Well, it means that we're running a solid business, a reliable business, but not only that, a legitimate registered business through the state, through the government. We're paying our taxes. We're doing things legit, right? We have a solid, reliable business, which means we don't have to directly buy from Walmart, or if you're doing dropshipping, you don't have to, or retail arbitrage, you don't have to go and directly buy from Walmart. That's just one extra hand that's getting in the way of your profits. So what can you do? Well, you can establish a business, get your EIN number, get your reseller certificate, right? Become a solid business, and then you can take that information to wholesalers or distributors or even manufacturers and say, hey, I would like to sell your products. I would specifically start with wholesalers and distributors and link up with these people that have a connection directly to the manufacturer. If you don't already know how the chain kind of works, there's plenty of hands in the game, but it starts with the manufacturer. They create the product. That manufacturer then sells it to a wholesaler or distributor in bulk, and the wholesaler and distributor will then sell it to retailers like us or like Walmart or whatever. Okay, so you can now, instead of going to Walmart, you can go up one level, link up with the actual wholesaler or distributor, and in this way you're going to increase your profit margins because there's less hands touching the product before you get it, but also you're going to link up with legitimate wholesalers and distributors that have invoices. They will send you, you can purchase, let's say, 5 units of the Yeti product right here. Okay, so you purchase 5 units, the wholesaler will send you an invoice that says, hey, you purchased the Yeti, it'll have the SKU number, it'll have the price, and it will be from a legitimate wholesale distributor. So you don't have to do things, like against terms of service in order to get approval. There's multiple methods to get approval on Amazon and get ungated in these gated categories. You don't have to break terms of service. Try to do it legitimately with these 3 methods. So the first one, automated method, give it a try. If they ask you for some basic questions, take it one little step further, go buy a simple domain name and give them what they're asking for and hit submit, and you're good to go. Okay, that's step 1. Now, the next one is Ungating services. If that is something that you want to do, be sure to do your due diligence and ask around, ask friends, ask in Facebook, ask people that have been there and done that, so you don't blow your money and hurt your account or potentially even get suspended. All right. So next one is link up with wholesalers and distributors. This is maybe an extra 2 or 3 steps, but the truth is, guys, when I started years and years ago, I established a business within about 48 hours. This was before I had my LLC or my incorporation. I started a DBA. All right, I went down to the state of California, like literally the city right here, 20 minutes away. It took me about an hour back and forth with the commute, about 2 hours. I had a DBA set up. I was then able to create, and all this acronyms, they sound so like, what do I do? It's very simple. Go down, create your business entity, then get your reseller certificate through the state. Very, very simple. And the next step is to find these wholesalers or distributors. You can find wholesalers or distributors that sell the Yeti brand and say, hey, I want to link up with you. They're going to ask you for your documentation, right? The stuff that we just got, our reseller certificate, because they want to know that you're established and that you're going to be paying your taxes and doing things legitimately. And once they approve you, you now have access to a lot of brands, potentially hundreds of brands or thousands of products and SKUs that you can go and not only make get your invoices, but make more money on it, guys. Get less hands touching your products. Okay, so 3 ways to get ungated, guys. I hope this helped you out. If it did, be sure to like the video below. Leave a comment if you have questions or concerns, or if you have some tips for other people getting ungated. Please leave those below. And then last but not least, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm always trying to put out awesome content for you guys, what I think is some awesome content. But if you like the content, be sure to subscribe so that you can absorb all the free information that I offer you guys on this channel. Okay, thank you very much for sticking around till the end of this video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.